How's it going, people? And welcome to the Big Six channel, our first official video today. I've brought the lads together. We're all here. Steve, Tob, Saeed, Grizz and Matisse. The Big Six, the big dogs, as Grizz likes to say.
Big
we're
dogs.
in the building.
Dogs.
The first video. It's been a long time coming. A lot of you guys have been messaging me what's going on with the official channel. When's it launching? Listen, it's hard to get all six of us in the same place at the same time. It's harder when Man City are trying to holler at Steve and trying to, you know, take away his time from us. But Sky Sports 2 with Matisse. I see you there the other day. Big things are happening.
He's on a date. He's on a date.
It wasn't it?
He was wearing his camel brown coat as well.
Yeah, the Motti overcoat.
You got a problem with that?
The only fools and horses jacket, innit? Bellboy.
Rodney.
Rodney, man.
But listen, we're going to kick off the Big Six channel by doing top fives. Not top five this season, not top five this decade, but top five of the Premier League era. And it's only right to start with the goalkeepers. Potentially one of the easiest ones to go into, but it's right to start there. And the next few videos you'll see centre-backs, wing-backs, midfielders, wingers and strikers. And as always, I want the engagement levels up. Make sure you guys hit the like button right now and let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Give us your top fives, who you agree with, who you disagree with. And let's get into it, lads. Oh yeah, before we do, in the description as always, every channel link is there, all channels in there. Make sure you support all of the lads as usual, please. And thank you. Let's get into it. Who's throwing the fifth place into the hat first? Should I start or?
I don't mind.
I'll
do
let
it.
Go on, Steve.
Go that way.
Go on, Steve. Let's hear from you first.
Goalkeepers, it's tough. It is tough. There has been some good goalkeepers over the years in the Premier League. You got to weigh it up, haven't you? Actual ability, trophies won, legendary status, and all that.
Clean sheets, percentages,
clean sheets,
all
and
of
all that. I've just sort of gone with this off my eyes, innit, of what I thought. Yeah, how I rate them. It's been tough, but my number five goalkeeper is David Seaman.
Okay.
I thought he did well at Arsenal. Obviously, we seen him a little bit at Man City, but he wasn't that good.
Another legend you took.
Yeah, he was more famous for he's more famous for his ponytail at City. No, but what he did, obviously, people are going to say he had a great defence in front of him. We know that, don't we? But you can't lie. You know, I remember Seaman pulling off some fantastic saves, and for me, yeah, he's my number five.
Wow. Being an Arsenal fan, I could tell you all about David Seaman. I know Grizz. Let me hear from Grizz first.
No, I was going to say it's funny, innit? The two old boys have gone for David Seaman. Like I think we're probably the only ones. I don't know if we don't know with the others, but I've gone for David Seaman as well.
Fifth place as well.
Fifth place as well.
Okay.
And for the reason that I was speaking to you earlier as well about in terms of, I like my keepers that sort of bring calmness to everyone.
Yeah.
And he was almost laid back. He was proper laid back, laughing and smiling. I just thought he was a tremendous
and he had
keeper.
leadership
And he was
qualities
massive.
on top of
Yeah,
that.
he was. He was a magnificent keeper for that Arsenal. I know what Steve's saying
Big
about
guy as well. Big guy.
massive guy.
Big guy.
Massive guy. And I think that hindered him by the time he got to City in old age, and you know, it slowed him down as a keeper.
It did.
His reflexes went a bit, but in his prime, my God, he's one of those keepers that you think, where do you put it? Where do you put the ball? Like he covered the whole goal.
Is it fair to say he's England's best goalkeeper of the Premier League era?
England have not had good goalkeepers.
Yeah,
Paul Robertson.
I
would say
Hold
that,
on,
yes.
Tobes.
No, I would say that because England have had poor goalkeepers.
David James.
Joe Hart
could have had a
Joe
potential.
Hart, like if he didn't fall off the way he did, would have had a shot because his first few years at City he was actually quality, but you'll have to.
But
go
who
to,
had the
to
bigger
Seaman.
fall off then? Because you were saying earlier about Seaman had a massive fall off at City.
I think Joe did because Seaman was. We knew he was at the tail end of his career.
Natural,
he come to City under Kevin Keegan, and we didn't expect an awful lot from him because we knew of his age and that. But with Joe had like 4 Golden Gloves. He was like big part of what Man City. And then when Pep sort of said, "You're not for me," we thought, well, okay, someone's going to get a great goalkeeper here. And then he finds himself at like Torino and West Ham.
Terrible.
Yeah,
Tottenham.
Celtic.
Terrible.
Yeah, but now, to be fair to Joe
Where is he
Hart,
now?
now he seems to be rejuvenating himself at Celtic. He seems to be the number one. And Joe Hart's not a bad goalkeeper by all means, but I think he suffered.
But character-wise,
He
you're
is a
gonna
bad
get
goalkeeper.
you're gonna get two opposites.
He's very
Joe
emotional.
Hart and Seaman.
How are we judging this though? Because would Would Seaman be in anyone's top 5?
He's in my 5th position.
He wasn't initially, but
I just felt guilty leaving him out. I feel
reluctantly.
a goalkeeper like that, you can't really
Can we
leave
not
out
pick
of the
our top 5 best keepers, or we just kind of picking Seaman, just kind of say, well, we rated him, but then we're just shoving him in?
But you have to rate it. You have to rank multiple factors because
Okay.
he's got
This
longevity.
is the fifth
Longevity,
choice.
yeah, that's the thing.
This is the
Because I would
fifth.
have put Edison as a number 5th.
No, that's your opinion, but that's what we're saying. We're going round and getting everyone's 5 now. In 5th position for me is Seaman. 5th position for Grizz is Seaman.
And Matisse as well.
I couldn't leave him out, and I'm not putting many
You
people.
read my notes.
Huh?
You
No,
didn't have
listen,
it.
this
You
is not
didn't
the
have it
scores.
earlier.
This is not the
You
predictions.
didn't have it earlier.
I did.
I'm telling you, before you guys got, you didn't have it.
I did
Class cheat,
because
man.
I
Class cheat again.
said I'm not going to put in many players that were like prior my time.
Okay.
But he's one that I don't feel like I can leave
To be
out.
fair,
It feels
he's
wrong.
my fifth.
You know, it feels wrong. It feels guilt. I feel
Yeah,
guilty.
I
Do you
heard
know what I'm
that.
saying? You know when you're watching Premier League years, you're thinking,
Hold
Yeah.
on.
Come on now.
My man just said, hold on, he is in my 5th. So who's 5th place for you?
5th place is Seaman.
So what's going on?
are you right? Are you serious?
No, I'm being serious.
Oh my
No, but
God.
I was looking at it and I was thinking, no.
I wanted to leave him out,
I was thinking to myself, do I put a keeper who I valued in my top 5, or am I looking at thinking Seaman, like Steve said, longevity-wise, he then goes into the top 5. So I just think nowadays, is longevity, is it overrated? You know what I mean?
I've literally got no clue
You
what
don't
you're
think so?
talking
I don't
about,
think it
innit? I just don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm just trying to say though, like, is
I'm trying to
longevity overrated? Because you
I
could
took
have
seat back
5
and I'm
good
trying to work it
years,
out.
you could have 6 good years, but then the next can be peter off.
It's
Like,
who
you're looking
you
at Joe
rate,
Hart,
man, who
he
you
had 4
rate,
good
man.
seasons.
Who you rate? You put your
You
top
got
five.
Edison. You had
When
Edison
we
fifth,
talk
you're
about
changing your
Seaman's
mind.
longevity, like
Yeah.
he was winning league
But
titles
No, I
throughout
get-
his career. Do you get what I'm
absolutely,
saying?
absolutely.
So his longevity had success.
Yeah,
all
that's what I'm
over.
trying to. That's why I thought I was putting that into everyone's factors. But I mean, I said all that. Seaman's in my top 5.
Wait, I thought it was Edison.
So is
No,
he,
no, we'll get
right,
onto that.
So
Okay,
Seaman's
cool.
your 5.
Seaman's top
Number
5.
5.
Number 5, yeah.
Number 5, Seaman.
Everyone.
Number 5,
Yeah.
Seaman.
Well, Toby, that.
Fifth for me was Edison.
Right, so Edison
Yeah.
is your number 5.
Unfortunately, Seaman. It was between him or Edison.
Okay, number 5. And
Yeah.
then,
After all the flax.
right, so
Seaman
that's
was
so.
popping
We've
up.
covered number
Yeah,
5.
listen, that's out of 6
Yeah.
votes. Seaman gets 5. I've
Yeah.
gone for Edison, but I can understand.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my Arsenal bias coming
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
going to ask, in terms of Arsenal, is David Seaman definitely over Jens Lehmann? Obviously, Jens
Yeah,
Lehmann is.
come on.
Yeah,
yeah,
I would
of
say
course,
so.
yeah.
I would say
100%.
so. I would say
But he's the
so.
only unbeaten keeper the league's
Yeah,
seen. So.
you're living
Maybe
off
if you won the
this.
Champions
don't
League.
bring
This hype again, man.
I'm
Flipping hell.
beaten hype.
Gold,
Where's that King Gold?
Yeah, man.
Gold Premier League title
Where's
hype,
Tyson?
man.
He's
Remember
around
Kinder
there.
Egg?
Good old Invincibles there. That's what we're left
Invincible.
hanging on to.
It's History Channel again, right?
So, what channel are you guys on? No
History
channel.
channel.
There
The
ain't no
History
channel.
channel.
Well, you
There
got
ain't no
history.
channel.
Nah,
The
he's on
Chicken Hat
ITV
Challenge.
Sport. That went bankrupt years ago. innit?
Granada TV.
Let's go into 4th. And obviously, if Seaman's got 5th, I'm going to start with putting Edison 4th. Reason being, for me, what you mentioned earlier,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
hard to really compare goalkeepers from early 90s, 2000 to goalkeepers
Yeah.
now. They're being asked different things. And I looked at my list and I saw 4 keepers from more of an old school mould. And I said to myself, look, football's changed an awful lot. I have to include a keeper that's modern.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And Edison, for me, has changed the way we look at the league now.
He is number 4 for me. Edison. I'm only putting him in there. Look, he's won league titles, 3 league titles, could be 4th.
It's going to be 4 this year.
But he's revolutionised.
Relax, innit? We
I
don't
think.
need
I
about
think.
that.
I
We
think.
don't know
I
about
think. If you look at football today, if you go to any academy across the country now, the young goalkeepers in them academies will be looking at moulding themselves on Edison. Because I think with the way Pep's playing and all that, these goalkeepers, years ago, you as a goalkeeper, your job, save the ball, come for crosses, catch it, big long throw, goal kicks and that. But now, goalkeeping's a lot more complex because you've got to add the passing side to your game. Because if you ever make it in the game now, these young goalkeepers have got to have that in the locker.
Yeah.
Because teams in divisions, most of the teams in divisions are trying to play out from the back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, of
whereas 10, 15 years ago, didn't really happen, did it? Goalkeeper put it down, launched it. Goalkeeper got it, launched it. We used to say it, didn't we? Get it up the pitch, get it up the pitch. Now it's all like calm. Even when you're chasing the goal, you'll see the
They're the
goalkeeper
top.
play
Yeah,
out
yeah.
on the floor.
Yeah.
And Edison's the master of it for me. I mean, I've seen some of them assists he's done, and like you say, it's unbelievable. So for that reason, I had to squeeze him in there. Obviously, I'm a City fan and I love him, but for me, my number 4 is Edison.
Is he not going to battle that,
think-
Alisson? No?
Go on, Matisse.
I've got De Gea. I think De Gea's reached higher heights for me in terms of goalkeeping. And yes, we talk about playing out from the back, but in terms of yes, he's not won the titles, but if we're talking about actual one of the best goalkeepers doing your job, he's probably faced way more shots.
He's a better goalkeeper than Edison.
Yeah, because
he's goalkeeping wise.
Yeah,
De Gea. But I just think if you put De Gea into City's
Oh, you
team,
wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
It's not going to happen.
But
Different
I
types of
I think De
systems.
Gea at one point was the best goalkeeper in the world, and I don't think you could say the same
But if
for
you put Edison in Man United's team, he'd be leading assists.
Not hard.
But you know,
Let's
when
not
you talk about
dispute
goalkeepers, we don't just talk about them being the best teams, because you got to look at shots faced, you got to look at save percentage.
That's
and
what I'm saying,
I
yeah.
think City, they've got a lovely defence. Do you know what I mean? He's
true.
well looked after. At Man United, for De Gea's time at Man United, he's had rough defences. I'm
Yeah.
talking
Yes.
Phil Jones making faces
That's
in
what I'm
front
trying
of
to
him.
say.
Do you know what I'm saying? All these guys, and I'm thinking De Gea's saving them. Game like was it Arsenal away?
Arsenal away.
Some
definitely
countless
point
games.
performances.
Liverpool at home.
Yeah.
Tottenham away.
He's definitely in the
They're
top five.
masterclasses. Like
I've
De Gea's
got
looking at the
De
pitch
Gea.
with man the match.
But I've put Van der Sar for fourth for me.
Okay,
I
cool.
think you have to put Van der Sar in the top five.
You have
Oh,
to.
yeah,
He's in the top 5, of course.
I think you have to put, like, Man United, that was a period where they were winning title. Of course, he had the monster title winning defence, but I think he was tall, he was commanding, and he was a really, really good shot stopper, man. I felt, because obviously he went there from Fulham, and at the time, it was like, Man United were going through a period where they had some really poor keepers, man. You had poor keepers back to
Barthez
back.
and that, yeah.
Bosnich.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
Taïba.
Oh my god.
Commentary, like,
he was against us, the ghost goal.
Bosnich.
Wasn't
Carroll, yeah.
Carroll.
So
Ben Foster was at your club as well.
Ben Foster, he was all right, you know, but then
so
David
after-
De Gea just couldn't, you know, David De Gea was there, that's why.
Tom
So like
Heaton.
He's here.
after Schmeichel left, like Man United went through a horrid period of goalkeepers, and I think it's no easy feat to go there and just make it like
Your own.
seamless. And I think he did that well.
I think he's got to be higher for all
But
that.
are
what
we
you just said.
factoring?
And I have-
are we
I've got him higher.
because for me, I don't know if Steve, if you're factoring just the fact that trophies and whatnot and what they imprinted. For me, if you're looking at David De Gea as a keeper, you know, everyone was looking at he's a saviour. You know, and for me, if you're a keeper, you have to be saving them goals. And he was saving match winning.
So
Here's high for me.
that's why I'm going to come with my controversial fourth choice because of the fact that you used that word transformation. So I get everything what Steve said about.
here we go.
Why did you do these ones?
Get the
to me? I don't know
violins
why you did
out.
these.
I know it's coming.
I get everything he said about Edison, and I get that, but I think the better goalkeeper all round is Alisson. So my fourth is Alisson because of the fact that he transformed everything that you've said about Man United having shit keepers after Schmeichel. We've had shit keepers throughout, like literally, like since David James, who was eccentric. Anyway,
Carrius.
oh mate, I mean, stop that.
It was money well spent. I give you that one.
So we
It was
needed
money well
someone.
spent.
We needed someone who's going to transform our fortunes, turn around our fortunes,
He did,
basically.
he did.
And him and Virgil van Dijk literally done that. And I think all round, Edison is unique, isn't he? Like in terms of his ball playing skills, like he's probably better than most
needs
of
to
you.
be a
Lot. Not me,
midfielder,
but he's best.
That's what I said.
He's probably better than all of you lot, right? At football, like.
Definitely better than me.
No,
Football content's coming soon.
You don't want to see this.
You don't have
calling me a nerd.
You
You
don't
can't
have
kick
the damn
ball.
cheek
You
to
can't
call me a
kick ball.
nerd. Listen, Four Eyes, zip it over there, and let the big dogs talk.
You look like
yeah?
you play like you got 4 eyes, bro.
but as a goalkeeper, this guy is unreal, man. I mean, in terms of all-round package, so he's not as good as Edison with his feet. Of course, he's not. But in terms of shot stopping, in terms of his
This is your
aura
bias
around the
coming
tin,
in.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like. Because he would not have said that.
Is
I don't think he would have said that
in a
after
short
this.
space of time, we went
Would
from
you?
8th to winning the Premier League
Yes, answer me.
and the Champions League. What do you want me to
He's
say?
a big part of that.
No, but you are being
Big
biased.
part of that, but this is bias.
I wouldn't. If you're going to say Edison has transformed the game, right? Alisson has transformed.
A club. There's a difference
club.
between
Yeah,
a
that's
game
what I'm saying,
and
yeah.
everyone in the league basing their play around.
No, he's transformed the way. I get what you're saying,
because
but
Alisson's a good goalkeeper.
Not as much
so
as
is De
Edison.
Gea. De Gea's a good
Edison's transformed the game in terms of play style.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's a brilliant goalkeeper
No.
per se.
No, yeah, I
don't think
understand
he-
that.
And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I think Edison isn't a. Look, City fans can come from wherever. I don't think Edison is
Better keeper.
is an elite keeper.
Because now to counter to add
he is-
to
he
no,
is-
he's
he is-
he's a
You
great
mean elite
goalkeeper,
shot
but
stopper?
for me, you've
Is
got
that
to
what
be
you mean?
Goalkeeper,
if you-
Turkish man, all round
No, but
goalkeeper.
the thing
It's a different league, but
He can rattle-
Neuer had the change of game in terms of
That's what I was
that.
gonna say,
He
yeah.
really changed it. If we're talking about who
Yeah.
actually changed the game now,
Yeah,
Well,
we'll talk about
my
Premier
number,
League.
I
It
think my
was
number
Neuer.
one. I think my number one keeper's changed the game.
It was-
I'm going to get to
Neuer.
that.
But I get the point you're making with Edison though, because I think when
He can
you
be rattled.
Edison is a
when you
stroke
look at
from
like
Alisson
like
can be
basic,
rattled.
basic goalkeeping.
Yeah,
Every keeper can be
characteristics.
rattled.
Edison is
Not
like
mine,
Edison
anyway.
is a really good shot stopper, but he's not a great shot stopper. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get where you're coming from, but I think, come on, he is an elite.
But to be
goalkeeper.
top 5, I think you've got to be a great stop shot.
Yeah.
Stop shot.
yeah,
That's
I'm
my
not
point.
maybe top 5.
Let's
in the
look-
world ever. You
Let's
know
look
what I
at
mean?
the
ever.
fourth.
Like this is top
Let's
5
look at the
ever
fourth
in
from
the
so
Premier League.
far.
Okay, well, if
So
Alisson's
De
not
Gea-
in
I
no
said De
one's,
Gea-
no problem.
no, Matisse
No,
said De Gea. What
I
have you
actually
gone
think
for?
Alisson currently is a better goalkeeper.
So
Edison,
2-2
Edison,
So it's a tie, it's a tie.
De Gea,
Tie.
Alisson.
Van der Sar.
No, so it's a tie between.
it's a tie-
Oh,
it's a
okay,
tie
okay,
between
tie.
Edison and
should I have
De
the
Gea.
deciding
vote?
So
Yeah,
you
that's what I
two vote on De Gea fourth or
And yeah.
Edison fourth.
Yeah. But you just, yeah.
I think the Gea should be higher personally.
There you go.
So I'll say Edison fourth because I think the hair should be higher.
What?
United,
What?
man.
Seriously?
But if
He
you're
might not- yeah,
fighting
but
for,
he
he might not get in
now.
He might not get in. That's what I was
You
going
need
to
to
say.
think about this,
You
brother.
need to figure-
I know, yeah, man.
Because
What's
if he
going on,
don't get
bro?
in now,
Nah, come on. Surely,
No,
he
no.
won't.
Because
Surely
then you
you're
have to
gonna
realise
put.
about
I
the top
promise.
three.
Surely, I
No,
promise
no,
you,
he
he
won't
won't
make
make
it.
Don't
He
mention
won't
the
make
other
it.
names.
Don't we
just-
That's what I'm
surely
saying about the
think
top
about
three.
yourself,
I promise
bro?
you, he won't make it.
Yeah, he won't
he's
make
not gonna
it.
make it.
Fuck's sake, man. He should be higher. Alright, fine. The hair then.
Yeah.
I'll put the hair.
I'll go with De Gea.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the 4 eyes jokes. He has it covered.
And Chelsea.
Right,
most
so-
overlooked
That's a
down, yeah.
controversial
So,
one, though, man.
It is. It is.
So,
I'm not happy with that.
De Gea's in fourth.
Yeah.
Should be higher.
Yeah, but we'll.
But again, you don't understand what we're trying to do. The top three are good, mate.
So
Bloody hell.
we got Seaman in fifth. We got
Yeah.
De Gea in fourth.
Yeah.
Now it's over to third. We'll start with you, Matisse, on third.
Third place is Van der Sar. I think
Van der Sar.
in terms
Simple
of
as that.
now we're talking about the success that comes with great goalkeeping, like you mentioned, Toby. Them 3 Premier League titles in a row.
Yeah.
Now come on, Champions
you
League
never
win,
with 3
and
in
then
a row.
2 Champions League finals. I think he wasn't involved in maybe the second one, but then the first one he was the Chelsea.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me not get into that.
Anelka.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so he wins the Champions League. Obviously, it's not part of the Premier League, but you can that's some serious resume that you're bringing to, and he's underrated because. When I was looking at the statistics, he's right up there in the top 10 in terms of save percentages as well.
Course.
Yeah, yeah.
Best of all
And
time.
at
in
the
there.
age, Matisse, he
Yeah.
came in at 34, and to do it till he's 40.
No, he's a good
To win a
goalkeeper.
title at 40.
Elite.
goalkeeper.
It's come on, man. Yeah.
Van der Sar's got like 3 seasons where his save percentage makes the top 15 of all time
Easily.
in terms of like for a goalkeeper.
He doesn't
So-
get, for me, he doesn't get enough respect for me
Yeah,
in the
I
Premier
agree.
League. I don't know what you guys are
I
thinking,
agree.
but you know, he was a leader as well at the back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He commanded everything, you know, and he just gave us that
tall as
calmness.
well, man. He was
Right?
so tall, man.
And also,
he's
he
a
just
good
gave us that
goalkeeper.
calmness and assurance. And when you're talking about, and we'll talk about the first 2 in, that's going to be ahead of them. But just for me, just the assurance that we had Van der Sar at the back, it was a rock.
Yeah.
And you need that to win titles, you know. And he gave us that solidity at the back. We didn't need to worry. Van der Sar make a mistake, you know. He probably made the odd one, but rare,
Yeah.
very rare.
Every goalkeeper will.
Yeah, exactly. And so for me, Van der Sar easily a top 3. You know what I mean?
I'm not
and,
mad at
and
that.
I'm tempted to put him in top 2, but I thought, you know what?
It's tight.
It's,
the
it's
top
tight.
three
Yeah,
tight,
100%
yeah,
it's
yeah.
tight. That's
So
why
you've
it's
got
top
him at
5.
third, yeah?
I've got him in third. Yeah.
Where would you?
I've got him third.
No, so you've got him third. Van
Third,
der
yeah,
Sar.
easily.
I've gone for Petr Cech.
Third, yeah.
What?
Oh my God.
Check third.
That's so low.
It's not really low in a top 5.
It's
but
low.
I've just gone.
I mean,
no,
it's-
I've
it's
just
not low
gone
in the
Petr
top
Cech
5, yeah, I
at
get what you
third.
mean.
That's just my opinion, but
Mad.
The Gremlins will be rattled now.
Well, that's his point, though.
I'll get my Virgin Army on you, Steve.
they're already on me. mate.
Yo,
Don't
boys,
say that.
come in,
That's
come in,
not
come in,
wrong,
come through. You just sit there. I'll tell you.
That was actually, yo,
You've been clipped.
I've been clipped. I've been clipped.
Wait, what did he say?
Because I said, yeah.
I don't want to say that.
I'll watch it back. I'll watch it back.
Small things amuse small minds.
Yo,
I
he's,
mean-
he's got a point though.
You
He's
know
got
what
a
I mean?
point.
But
So what is
nah,
it?
for me, I just think there's 2 other goalkeepers ahead of him, and that's my opinion. I thought Cech was a great goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Did well at Arsenal as well. But
Yeah.
at Chelsea days, he was unreal. But there is 2, in my opinion, better
I'm
goalkeepers
stunned.
than
You know, with the
Cech.
check thing, yeah, for me, it's again clean sheets.
Yeah, man.
And
setting
also,
records.
It's just
he
the,
was a
it's the dominance, man.
Yeah.
Even
He
after the
came-
head injury, still
Yeah.
dominance.
still dominant.
And when you look
Yeah.
at the top,
Yeah,
Couple, maybe,
he had an
yeah,
effect, but he was still a top keeper.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I think that's just symptomatic of just that Chelsea team, Mourinho.
Mourinho, yeah.
Peter Cech came to this Premier League in a period where like some of the elite goalkeepers of the past had sort of reached their sell-by.
Yeah, of course.
And it was crying for someone to take the mantle, and he literally took it with aplomb. Like from when he joined up until he got that injury, and even maybe like 2-3 seasons after the injury, like he was imperious.
Even with the head game.
the best goalkeeper
Even with the
by
head game.
distance.
I've got him higher.
So do I.
Don't get me wrong, I nearly put him at 2, but then I thought, no.
Yeah, I've got Van der Sar at
I had
3.
him I had
So I
De Gea
think
third.
you've got Van der Sar 3.
Yeah.
So do I.
You got 3.
I had De Gea third.
De Gea.
But it's fine.
But he's in now, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's in
now.
now.
Do you
Easy.
want Turkish?
Van der Sar.
Yeah, he's in it.
Because that's a clean sweep. Well,
So
majority.
then we go for 2. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to echo what Saeed said about Van der Sar. Like, Van der Sar was so calm, was such a leader.
Yeah.
I thought he brought professionalism to Man United as well. He's such a,
They needed it because they bummed about with keepers
This is my
after
point.
Schmeichel for ages. Bang, bang,
Yeah,
bang,
yeah, of
bang.
course.
Didn't quite get it right.
And exactly that. This is why I brought in Alisson into my equation. You know,
Yeah, no
we messed
surprise.
about with so many keepers, and then we found Alisson.
Yeah.
They found Van der Sar.
And he could have that longevity that Van der Sar might have. You know, we could look a bit at in the
Yeah,
years.
in a few
found
years'
his
time.
titles,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I take
If
that Alisson
Liverpool's
point.
So is that
FSG, you know.
4 votes for Van der Sar, De Gea,
I take
and
that.
Chelsea.
Okay.
So number 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's how we're playing on this table.
Okay.
Calvin.
So third place, Van der Sar.
I'm happy with
Yeah,
that.
Sai still
It's over
delivered.
to the top 2 now.
Petr Cech.
Second place, let's start off.
Petr Cech for me. You know, he was the difference for me in that. You know, I know Chelsea had a strong defence, but he also had a strong keeper. When we were going against Mourinho, you know, he was just so stalwart. He was huge. You know what I mean? And he was like, he was so good, like such a good keeper. And for me, like at that time, like, you know, the amount of clean sheets they were making, yes, the defence, Carvalho and Terry, unbelievable, but he was making big saves in big games. And, you know, and Chelsea at that time, who did you have? Cudicini.
Yeah, Cudicini second choice. Very good second choice.
Yeah, very, very, 100%. I think you had another kid before that. Not, you know, they weren't quite serious. When
What
Cech
about
came
Ed
in,
De Hoy?
Ed
Remember
De
him?
Hoy.
Yeah, exactly.
Ed De Hoy was tearing it up in the UEFA Cup.
I know.
Them snowy Thursdays
Oh,
on Channel
yeah,
5.
with
do you
shorts
remember?
banging at one end and Ed De Hoy
That was
back
a
Exactly.
Ed De Hoy was
Zola.
was
It was
a
a nice team.
legend.
In the car park,
Championship
yes.
manager,
In the car
legend,
park.
Ed De Hoy.
You're in the car park now, Sweden. Talk about
Well,
car parks.
listen.
Don't bring up car parks, brother.
parks now.
You know what I mean?
Don't bring up car parks.
It actually isn't a car park, you know, it's an open area. You
Man
know what I
United,
mean? He says the car park, it's an open area. So
car
Steve,
park,
you
man.
tell people it's an open area.
Exactly.
With a football, big football.
Well,
in
that's
the
a
middle.
business idea. Turn that into a car park and start charging people. That's a
Ah,
business.
listen.
But check.
Yeah, Chris, man. You know,
Check,
no baby
check,
up.
check.
I've got Schmeichel.
Cech was
But
elite,
the only
man.
thing I would say, Czech would have been close to my number 1
Yeah.
if it wasn't for the head injury. I disagree. I think since he got that the head injury, naturally, I'm not saying like he should have carried on being as great as he was, but I think
I think he did go a little bit after
He
that.
did,
He did go
but
after
not,
that.
not straight
and
away.
it's absolute natural, man.
Yeah,
what,
but
what
not
was the injury again? What was the? It was a crack
His
skull.
skull.
or something.
He fractured his skull.
Do you know what I mean?
Was it
So only,
2007?
only Steve can carry on with a cracked skull. Like normal, like, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's like
What does that mean?
hard, man.
Some
Look at the size
cranium,
of
man.
his-
Some cranium, man.
Do you know what I mean? Exactly.
Shiny as
So,
well.
but I think before his injury, head injury, before he started wearing the head guard, I think he would have been, if he carried on like that, I think he would have been my number 1.
But even then, though,
But
so
why
he
signed
played
for
that
me,
He signed for Chelsea, what, 2000?
Which mean it's because he affected his goalkeeping.
2003.
Did it really?
Yes.
Batiste?
No, I think it's 4.
Batiste, be honest,
Yes.
did it affect his real goal?
Yes.
For me,
2003.
it
I didn't
didn't
think he
affect
did.
it enough.
I think he
No,
did.
it-
I just think,
You think so?
I think
Yes.
there was a little bit where I
did,
think
it
teams
did.
were getting at him. I think
Yes.
getting a bit physical with him. But I think later on, more games, more confidence.
So I
He
tell
just-
you what I loved about Czech. I mean, obviously you watched him.
But Chelsea had that downward spiral though.
But you
remember?
know-
2000 and was it, what season was it? 2008, 7, 8. You weren't winning the title.
No, but Czech was
Wasn't, but
we were
Czech
dominant.
was still quality, though.
Czech statistics and his
There you go.
metrics are still right up
That's
there.
what I'm
If you
saying,
look
but
at
like
it.
Peter
And
Cech,
for me, he reached
it's like
the
7
absolute
years.
pinnacle.
7 years at the top of the Premier League.
Yeah.
And you know, Pete Czech, you know,
And the
you
titles as well.
you described how bit tall he was. I think you just mentioned it. I don't know how 6'3", 6'4", probably.
Yeah, 6'3", 6'4", yeah, around about that.
The amount of shots that he saved low.
Yeah,
But that's what I said.
and
Is he
he
a
was a
modern day?
cat.
You know, like De Gea. I think De Gea modelled his game on Czech because of the fact it was so good.
If you had to draw similarities,
Yeah,
you'd
that's
say
what-
so, because like they were just like, you know, them sort of goalkeepers that are
Agile.
just
Saving his
unbeatable.
legs.
They're just
Yeah.
unbeatable.
But-
Saving his legs as
They're
well.
so-
My thing is when you look at Petr Cech, right, in terms of a goalkeeper, he's still world class throughout the rest of his career before Arsenal. And then Arsenal, you can see the clear decline. In 2012, he saves us in the Champions League. Everybody
Facts.
talks about Drogba.
Facts.
He's
Yeah.
saving penalties. He saved Robben's
Messi,
penalty. He
yeah,
saved Messi.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
still
yeah,
world class
yeah.
after the head injury. Now, in terms of reaching the pinnacle, he's setting records. 91 save percentage is the record
Yeah.
for save percentage as a goalkeeper in the Premier League.
Absolutely. And the most
Second
clean
place
sheets
is
still.
89%. Petr Cech again. Then
He has to be
and
number
then
one, I'm sorry.
his fourth best is
No,
behind
chill.
Schmeichel. is behind Schmeichel.
He has to hear some stats, chill out, man.
So statistically, his 3 best seasons.
No, it's the truth.
His 3 best seasons are in the top 5 of save percentage.
He's
of all
literally
time.
breaking records. Like, he has to be number 1. I'm
Clean
sorry.
sheets record.
Nah.
So wait, who's got? Okay, so we started with Czech. Yeah, who's got Czech here in second?
I've got him in second.
3 people. Who's got
I've got
Schmeichel in
Schmeichel.
second?
I've got Schmeichel second.
I've got Van der Sar.
And you've got Van der Sar.
So you're the tiebreak. Well, yeah. You're
Well, in a way.
3. Yeah, I guess it
In
has
a
to
way,
be checking it.
because he did put Czech third, so it's kind of like default.
Yeah.
'cause I
So the
assume-
comments
I
can't
assume
come
I
up with
know
that, innit?
Steve's-
Because it's,
I know
it's down
Steve's
to
first
Steve.
place if
Yeah.
Czech is.
Who you got as third? Second, sorry?
Pete Schmeichel.
Yeah, so do I.
I had Schmeichel second.
I didn't watch
Check
Schmeichel.
first.
So
That's what I'm saying.
I've
I've read up on Schmeichel and I've watched that
Yeah.
so many
See,
years, but I resonate
grew
more
up in
with
so,
Yeah,
so,
I'm dominant
so
with
I was
my
Schmeichel's
time.
era,
Yeah.
and how Steve spoke about Edison transforming goalkeepers and goalkeeping in the Premier League. I thought Schmeichel.
I think he transformed the whole Premier League.
I think Schmeichel transformed goalkeeping in terms of
Exactly.
the
He was
aggressive
he was a
goalkeeper.
freak,
You know, we're talking about goalkeepers that are very not only character Turkish, like he was fucking scary.
Yeah.
Like he's
You
scared.
didn't, bearing down on
Match
goal, you
winning
didn't want to be
saves.
on
Who's
top.
2 then? Who's 2?
Well, it looks like Czech right
Czech.
now, but obviously it's a kind of
Yeah.
a default one where if Czech's second, Schmeichel's
Schmeichel's first.
and
Easily.
So who's?
Let me hear from you.
Yeah,
what-
who's first?
Schmeichel's first for you, Czech's
Well,
third.
let
It's
me,
the
let me,
debate
let me
right
tell you
now.
about Peter Schmeichel. Yeah, I grew up watching. Peter Schmeichel is the best goalkeeper I've ever seen ever.
is
Right,
coming from a
ever
City
in
fan.
any single league. Let me tell you why. We look at Man United now, David De Gea, and you say, "Oh, he saves Man United." This guy was saving Man United 10 times the
10
amount of
times,
times
yeah.
he's doing it. He had the throw of a throw like a kick,
Fatima Whitbread,
you
javelin
think-
throw.
like
Javelin, yeah.
unbelievable, right? I seen a save. I'll never forget it. Rapid Vienna, I think United played, and he was going one way, and
Inter Milan
the
won
header
number.
came. He got down to it.
He's
Never seen
proper-
that.
Yeah, I remember
He's
seeing
proper
that.
obsessed with you, lot, innit?
No,
So
I
it
no.
shows, innit?
Listen, I respect. I respect.
He's only down the road.
Studying the rivals.
It used to blow my
He
mind
ruined
as a
his
kid,
childhood,
man.
you know.
It used to blow my mind as a kid because
Yeah, but
I
Rapid
used
Vienna,
to
you're
think to
watching him against
myself,
Rapid Vienna.
no, yeah, because we
Secret
were
Red,
playing York. So, you know what I mean? So it used to be on a Wednesday night, innit? So
I've
what-
heard this York story so many times now.
So- They got stories that
so
we've got stories for
basically,
them
so
now.
basically, he was an animal. But
Stop.
later on in his career, he signed for City, right? And I watched him at City, and he was old, right? And he wasn't the player he was, but he made 2 saves against Liverpool at Anfield. That I'm going to get him on my phone after this and show you the saves that Schmeichel made, and you've never seen anything like it in your life. Honestly, the guy was a monster. And you listen to the centre backs in front of him like Bruce and
Champions League
Pallister,
final.
and he
I know it's
would,
not Premier League.
Honestly, Peter Schmeichel, can't wax lyrical about Peter Schmeichel. City fans are going to go, "What are you fucking
I think
talking
he
about?" But
sold it. He
I've
sold
got to
it.
respect it. The guy's a monster. You just
Yeah.
look.
He hasn't sold it for me.
Yeah,
because obviously I
honestly,
want
still
Pep,
Peter.
but
I watched the tail end of him.
But I do respect Schmeichel a lot. Like
Yes.
he is one of.
Yeah.
He's obviously
I watched
top
the
2.
tail end of his
He was
career.
an absolute
I,
monster.
as I said, the way he described Edison in terms of transforming the game, I think he transformed goalkeeping in terms of this new breed of aggressive.
Yeah, of course.
It was that
In-
star, wasn't it? The
intimidating,
big
Toby.
star
Yeah,
that they all
star.
copying out. He used to come out, and then United would be getting battered.
See,
and
the
then
thing is,
he
He's one of
saved
the
some worldie. Next
he's one
minute,
of those goalkeepers.
the goal
He's
is
one
one
of those
end.
goalkeepers that didn't care how he saved it, Tobes.
Yeah.
So you know, like
You hit him in the face.
yeah, he didn't care how he saved it.
Sounds like a
And-
nutcase.
Just an animal.
Oh,
You're an
psychopath,
animal.
mate.
He was.
Psychopath.
And do you know what, guys? You don't know. No, like you might know. I'm just saying you may not know like how intimidating that is for forwards. So because after a little while you realize it plays on your mind. Like you try to think of different types of finishes against him.
Personality-wise, that's what's going to do. Give him the edge. He's psyching people out.
And he wasn't behind shy, types like Palace. Bruce was loud.
Oh, he's
Gary
loud.
Neville was always,
Yeah.
but he
Schmeichel
was
was loud.
their leader.
Of course.
Imagine that.
He was their leader. That's what I'm saying. And that's why, for
Crazy.
me, he revolutionised the Premier League.
More importantly, why do
know.
you keep nicking legends? Schmeichel, Seaman, Lampard. What's going
Yeah,
on
well,
there?
no, what happened
Vieira.
there?
Vieira.
Yes,
What's going on here?
What happened there?
Retirement home, innit?
Schmeichel did himself no favours when he comes to City
Oh, yeah,
because on the
100%
derby at Main Road, last ever derby at Main Road, if you see the footage in the tunnel, he's captain for City, and Gary
Gary
Neville
Neville,
comes
yeah.
out and won't shake his hand, which I get that, I love that, you know what I mean? I don't want my captain
Yeah,
shaking his
yeah,
hand.
yeah.
But then in the game, when City scored, Schmeichel was doing like cartwheels to the City fans near the United end.
Yeah,
And
of
they
course.
never forgot it now, so they hate him for it. But at the end of the day, I think the blue side touched him that much, he's cartwheeling in front of the United fans, you know what I'm saying?
Bloody hell.
So the roundup, it looks like Czech's got 3 votes, but obviously because Steve
Yeah.
votes Schmeichel number 1, Czech goes into second place, and Schmeichel's got 4 votes
Yep.
for number 1, and the remaining 2 were for Czech, right?
Czech.
Yeah.
But I think
I'm going to educate you, man, on some Peter Schmeichel.
No, but I get look at the contrast though in styles, in characters, personalities. Like Czech wasn't noisy. Czech was just a machine in terms of a goalkeeper, like efficient. Like you can rely on him. Schmeichel had a couple of bloopers in his career, which every goalkeeper does.
Yeah, of course.
But as he says, the amount of times
he scored goals as well.
Like he was, I hated him. Like,
Was he on penalties?
Nah, off corners, volleys and that in the top corner and shit, like mad stuff like that.
But for me, that save against Inter Milan, I'll never forget that one. You know what I mean? It was meant to go in, and he just.
You must have watched that on YouTube, right?
I'm sure it was a rapid. I'm sure it was a rapid Vienna one.
We read them YouTube comments.
We worked out he was free at the time.
is on YouTube still. You know what I mean? It's still trending.
It's not wrong if you watch it on YouTube.
still
bro.
trending.
You know what I mean?
Before our time, Premier League years,
club,
that's how we
trending,
educate
big club,
ourselves.
big
Premier
dogs.
League years and reading up, that's how we educate ourselves, man.
Listen, you
These
said
old
it.
timers want to take the piss out of us because we were
But yeah,
watching
he's
football
calling
at
me a
like 5
nerd. He's
years
talking
old.
about reading and all this.
Listen, I'm a football encyclopedia. You're just a nerd. Yeah.
Wow.
Different things. Different things.
There we go.
Old time, new time, Tottenham
God
about no
help if he
time.
goes back.
I don't know what this
This
guy's
guy
on
keeps
about.
coming for Spurs, and I don't get why. I don't.
You're Spurs.
I tell you what.
Say to me,
Listen,
you know,
I tell you what. Talking about
obsessed,
old
innit?
times, I'm not joking. No, they had Pat Jennings played for you guys.
Yeah,
at once,
he did.
Yeah.
What a goal!
And the
Do
American
any
guy
Tottenham
was
players
good.
come into any of these debates and discussions?
We're gonna find out.
Because this
We're
is the
gonna
big
find
six.
out.
I mean,
Lloris is longevity.
not top 5, but Lloris is quality though.
No.
He'll be in top
Not top 5, not top 5.
top 10, top
So you know, honourable mentions that are not in the top 5.
Yeah, so
You mentioned one
Yeah,
in the
Shea
thing
Given.
earlier, Shea Given.
Quality.
Shea.
As a naturally
Yeah,
talented
quality.
goalkeeper, what
He
a
wasn't that
goalkeeper.
tall as well, Shane.
quality, bro.
No.
Injuries killed him, man.
Yeah.
Injuries killed
Good
him.
Is that
shout
Man
that
City as
was.
well? Yeah.
He could have gone to a big club, man.
You know
He
when
could
you
have-
say
100%, yeah.
revolutionised goalkeepers as well? Pepe Reina as well revolutionised in terms of
Nah, he
on
was
his feet.
gash, man.
No,
Distribution-wise,
distribution.
fair.
So when we talk about
Distribution-wise, trust me.
Edison, Pepe Reina was good on his
I
feet.
still see it as Neuer. Neuer took it to that level.
No, yeah, but
where
Premier
he's the,
League, yeah.
he's the. If you're going about revolutionizing something,
Premier League,
Neuer's the
innit,
guy.
Neuer's like this generation's.
Yeah, but Pepe Reina's got
Schmeichel.
YouTube.
I
innit?
think.
Yeah.
I think Neuer's his generation Schmeichel in terms of like what he did for goalkeeping.
Agreed.
He was so big, but yet his distribution is clean.
I think Neuer's
And
going to
he's
go
just
down as one of the
scary.
greatest keepers of all time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, could be, yeah,
100%.
easily.
Even from Schalke days.
Sweeper
he was
goal.
Proper number one.
Yeah.
Probably number one. for me.
That's
that
another
name.
show, innit? Goalkeepers of all time.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
We're going to stick to Premier League first, and then I know people want us to do World 11s and all of that. We're going to get into that next. But let's do the Premier League first. I think we've settled on it. Number 5, David Seaman. Number 4, David De Gea.
Yep.
3, Van der Sar. 2, Petr Cech. And number 1, Schmeichel.
The De Gea ones, I think it's irking me in him.
No, I like
He
it.
wasn't
I think
even in my
they
top
did.
5 at all.
Really?
He wasn't in
Wait,
my top
what?
5.
No. Edison's the one that's missing from my
This is based on Premier League titles then. If you're
No, titles, influence.
De Gea was-
De Gea was a monster.
Gea
I think
was
people
quality,
forget
bro.
what De Gea's
I'm not,
prime.
trust me,
De Gea's
his
prime
best
was mad.
performance for United is probably against Arsenal.
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
I've
His
watched
prime.
that guy.
He had one of those
Man
against
City.
us as well.
No,
The
but that
following
doesn't
season.
mean we're killing De Gea. We're not.
No, I'm not saying
He's a
killing, but I'm
great
saying like
goalkeeper.
De Gea should have.
I'm saying like it's very rare for one keeper to just be so dominant.
Yeah.
For like
3 years.
More than that.
Yeah, 3-4 years.
So the season where Man United, Van Persie, because his first season he struggled, and then the second season, I'm saying De Gea, his first season he struggled big time.
But his second season,
that's what I'm saying.
won
Let's
the
not
league.
forget he came to this league at like 19 years old.
Yeah.
And the second season he patterned up, and then from then on, so that's we're talking 2012 through to 2019, I think.
Easily.
That's
a long
7
time,
years.
man.
He's
Yeah.
dominant.
Years
You just
consistent.
reminded
And
me
he,
that
and,
did
and he
come
should
as
have
a
won
young
the
player.
title. The fact that he
7
didn't win
years
one
of
is
dominance,
Manchester
yeah.
United's
Yeah,
fault. It's not
fair
really
play.
Not
his
his.
fault.
Yeah.
Fair play.
And keepers have an exception, you know, because they could be outstanding.
Yeah, bro, they can't go and score goals. You
Well,
know
there
what I'm
you
saying?
go.
So if you're not winning a title, that's
Yeah, fair
definitely
play.
down to
No,
him.
I've just remembered that.
He had a
Yeah.
little wobble after the fax machine broke. And he didn't get
He
had a bit of a wobble.
As we all do. You know, as we all
and
would.
the whole donut thing, but we won't talk about that. You know,
Yeah, well,
other than
only
that,
Steve's seen that.
other than that, you know, it's there. Google it. David De
Listen,
Gea
man.
and donuts. Google it.
That's the top 5 people. Special mentions to Edison, Pepe
Alisson,
Reina,
yeah.
Jens Davis,
Lloris,
Shea
Joe
Given.
Hart, Joe Hart,
Yeah.
Lloris, I guess, is in there somewhere.
Give it
Top
to him, it's
20,
always
I don't
Massimo
know.
Massimo
But make
Taibbi.
sure you guys let us know your top 5s in the comments. Who do you agree with? Who do you disagree with? Have you hit the like button yet?
Yeah.
If you haven't, you know what to do. And in the description below, all of our channels are in there. So make sure you guys subscribe and keep on supporting the thing as always. And look out for the next one. Top 5 centre backs of the Premier League era. Love for the love, people. We'll be back soon. Peace.
Peace.